Alrighty, there we go. How's it going, folks? And welcome back to the lab. Let me just make sure everything's looking all good on my side. And if you are wondering why my hair is wet, because I literally took a shower. Alright, yeah, we're looking good over here. Let's pull up. That's a bad boy. Oh, that's a reveal. Cool. Cool. And there we are. A little hasty, but we got the thing set up. So placeable places. So what we did yesterday was very trial and error. Basically, appreciate the support from chat. Everybody helping out. But basically, we created some empty game objects, created some scripts for placeable things. We got placeable zones. We have a placeable zone here. I'll have to figure out how to extrude this zone, but for now, this is going to be what it is. It basically will get the size of the thing and create tiles over that. For instance, if I hit play here, we're going to see my cursor right here, and if I go over here to console, we can see that we're getting tile. We are getting index out of whatever, but we're getting indices of the tiles. This indice error has to do with it being outside of the actual index, so we can just do some error handling there. But as you can see, we are getting tiles like so. And so the next up is, see, this cube right here is going to be our first basic placeable object. Hey, you seem to be having a problem. Oh, he's like dodging me. Okay, goodbye, dude. Definitely some interesting movement tech going on there. You guys can get slapped. But yeah, so these tiles basically are going to signify places on our area that we can place objects. So if we go in here, placeable zones, we now have on trigger, we have the offset already accounted for, thanks to ChatGPT getting us this offset function. And then we're flooring that to adjust the X and Z position. So I will say something confusing is that we're storing this a little weird. We have X, Y, and Z here, to where some of the namespace is being a little funky. So we have a static size of array, which is the size of the plane bounds. So that's flooring to int. Largest integer smaller to or equal to f. Smaller to or equal to f. Okay, so at the very edge, we're basically getting 10 as our value. Which that doesn't, of course, floor it correctly, but we're okay for now. So now we have that position on like the world, basically. So let's see if we pull this up or if we're gonna start writing this out, so we're not using a dictionary, using a array to store the tiles, indexed by an offset and floored to the closest value. Okay. So we've got tiles selected basically. Placeable tile. We can even add a public game object. Object on tile. We'll put that just there. And object on tile is equal to null. So this will be very simple. On our placeable tile, we can just call a function place on tile. Or we can do that in the placeable zone, or we can do that in our placeable object, or we can even do that in our player controller, because we're going to need our player controller here, over here. So you can see a bunch of private variables. We're just going to have a private boolean for now, building mode. And we're going to just always, we'll have that set to false. Right away. And basically what we're going to do is, so we'll need reference to this kind of state, like so. We could do maybe we could do static. Let's go in there and fully understand what making that static would do. Because if we did player controller dot building mode, then it says in C#, what does static mean? Writing to the type itself rather than an instance of the type. You can access a static member using the type name instead of a reference or a value, i.g. GUID. New GUID. In addition to methods and variables, you can also declare a class to be static. Used for memory management. Short static effectively means associated with the type instead of any one instance of the type. Okay, so we could even make this a static variable, but we'd have to make that probably public. Or we can just always give a reference to the player controller, because we're going to have multiple player controllers eventually, because if we want to go multiplayer. So we're just going to we'll just have a private state. And basically, our on attack, and we're just going to do and not is or building mode. So that should be okay for now. Else, let's say building mode. Then we're going to do something completely separate. We want an else if, not an else. Else if building mode. Then implement placing functionality. Okay. And we're gonna do a public void on building mode enter input action dot callback context if context dot performed. Basically, when the action is performed, we're just going to set building mode equal to not building mode. All right, and how could we signify this? Well, right now we don't need anything to actually basically activate, but in building mode, we can always like do something with the UI, do something just to signify to the player that building mode's active. But for now, we're just going to basically keep turning it on and off. So once it's clicked initially, it will turn building mode on, and then turn building mode off. So if we go Okay, 204. Yep, always fun with the auto corrections that Visual Studio likes to try and implement. Okay, here we go. Hit play. Actually, we didn't ever set up building mode. Let's just make sure that we can still attack. Yeah, we can still attack. So now what we're going to do is go into our player, go to player input, go to input system actions. We're going to create a new action. This is going to be a button down. And we're going to call this, what do we call it in here? On building mode, enter. We're going to call this new action is going to be enter building mode. Like so. No binding. We're going to create a new binding. And quite literally, we're just going to press B. B. Okay, never mind. Listen, B. Keyboard, B. All right, so enter building mode. That's a new thing. So whenever we press B, it's keyboard and mouse. We'll have to figure out something else for a controller in the future. That'll be a fun stream when we start setting up controller support, but that is probably way down in the future. So now if we go to events, player, you can see some things like we have pause menu right here. Let's just drag our player back, or not enter building mode. We want to add that, drag our player in there, and in player controller, we want to basically trigger our on building mode enter. Right, save that. You can see our player controller. What we're gonna do here as well is private. We're going to serialize our field. Like so. That, just so we can see that change. Alrighty, let's go ahead and just keep an eye. There's building mode right here. It's off right now, right away. We can attack like so, but if we press B, we cannot attack anymore, and we are in the building mode. Okay, so that is good, quite good. Okay, nice. I don't think we actually need this. Might be causing some performance issues. Actually, I shouldn't have done anything. It might just be lagging or something. Well, we're gonna not pay attention to how laggy that seemed a little bit. Could be doing with something. Could also try out a build soon. Oh yeah, the editor's also lagging a little bit. Let's check out how good old Task Manager's doing. Yeah, doing okay. If you haven't checked out Discord, check out Discord. Doing announcements there. You can join channels, start talking. I will respond if you chat in the lab or lounge. But okay, so let's get back to it. So now we can enter building mode as player state. So on trigger stay, we're getting basically a selected tile. So instead, we're just going to have access to a private, or no, we'll do a public. Do a public. Oh, we already have that set right there. Make this public. Placeable tile, selected tile. And so we'll just on trigger enter, we'll just selected tile is equal to tiles at adjusted x comma adjusted z. And so now, instead of debugging that, if we go here, placeable zone, and on trigger stay, we'll do a private void also as well on trigger exit. If other equals cursor, then we're just gonna set our selected tile equal to null. Cause you'll see why in a little bit, and that honestly might not have anything to do, but we're figuring it out as we go along. Okay, so now if we go here, we still have our placeable zone, size tile. Do we have reference? Where's the reference to our selected tile? Probably actually can't serialize field that because it's not mono behavior. But yep, so we can see some index was out of range. Spawning enemies, but we are getting tiles set, which is good. Okay, so let's just go ahead and fix that. If adjusted x is greater than, we'll do tiles dot length, and we'll do also, actually not, is less than that, and adjusted z is less than tiles dot, or tiles at, I don't know, 0 dot length. Wait, how? It's a two-dimensional array. How do I get long length? Rank? I don't know. Then we'll set our selected tile, like so. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just literally do that. Okay, and let's just look up in our C#. C#, get length of second of 2d8. All right. Get width and height. Right, get length 0 and right, get length. Okay, get length. So we'll do get length of 0 and get length of 1, like so. Okay, cool. So now we shouldn't see those errors popping up saying that our index was out of bounds of the array. And let's keep that nice and settled. Okay. So if we go here, we're not getting any more errors. Cool. Cool, cool. Oh, that's always not good. Yeah, because this index might be a little too low. Just as x is greater than, and I wish I could do 0 is less than adjusted x, like that, you know, like a mathematical formula. And then adjusted x is greater than 0, and literally is greater than or equal to 0, because we of course want to be able to index at 0, which is cool. Okay, so there we go. Now we have that error handling, and we're selecting a tile. And if we leave the zone, then the selected tile is set to null. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, since we have placeable zones, placeable objects, I'm going to create an empty and call this a placeable controller. We're going to put that in our game controller, like so. And then these are actually going to go as child objects, because we might need a placeable controller, basically signifying that has access to the player script, or the players, which once we've entered building mode, allows us to start getting whatever placeable zone we're colliding with, our cursor's colliding with, get its selected tile. And we also need to, okay, so let's think this out. Placeable controller, we're gonna just add a new script called placeable controller. Right, create an add. Oh, well, usually don't like to do that, but mono behavior. Gonna go into Unity. Takes a little bit for reloading domain. Go in here, go back. Let's drag that into our scripts folder. And now, reloading domain. We're gonna have to reload Visual Studio as well. But, let's load this bad boy up. And here we go. There we go. Placeable controller. We'll go back to start. We'll just leave this section. So, for allowing players to build, we need to flush out a system, a building system. So we have zones that have local grids of placeable tiles that denote their location on the grid, as well on the 2D grid, as well as if they are obstructed. So let's actually go make this a little bit better. Placeable tile, we don't even need a Z here. We just need an X and Y since it's two-dimensional. And let's get rid of this bad boy, like so. Okay. Save that. We're gonna go to placeable zones. New placeable tile. X, Y. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Okay. And this is going to be other size of tile. Bound size.z. We're gonna do our Y offset. This is going to be Y. Local pause.z. Adjusted Y. This is getting confusing. Yes, we'll accept that. Okay, so that just makes naming conventions. We are using a two-dimensional grid on these, on the grid, so I'll be okay. And we can also, this will also require us not to even care about doing all this stuff, because we can even have a reference to the placeable controller, and if building mode is enabled on the placeable controller, then we can have this trigger stay and trigger exit, like so. So, if we go here, we have zones that have local grids of placeable tiles that denote their location on a 2D grid, as well as if they are obstructed. We also have a non-set up placeable object, which in hindsight will have a size representing a width and height, or yeah, width and height representing how many X and Y tiles it will take up. Okay, like so. Then when the player enters building mode, they will need to select a placeable object to place / move / get rid of. For basics, let's just instantiate. Let's just make a object that we can place. We can place. By clicking in building mode. So what we can do is in our player controller, basically this on attack, if we are not in building mode, fires. We're probably going to implement placing functionality here, and we're probably going to call our placeable controller to actually place the object on the zone selected by the player. I could definitely see how this is going to be fun to work around in a year or two's time when I try to implement multiplayer. But we're going to start single player because I've never tried to even mess around with multiplayer functionality, and that's something I might even do a separate project on so we can come back. But let's keep fleshing this out. For allowing players to build, we need to flesh out a building system. We have zones that have local grids of placeable tiles that denote their location on a 2D grid, as well as if they are obstructed. We also have a non-setup placeable object, which in hindsight will have a width and height representing how many X and Y tiles it will take up on said grid. When the player enters building mode, they will need to select a placeable object to place / move / get rid of. For basics, let's just make an object that can place by clicking in building mode. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is have an object. So placeable controller, we're going to make a public game object, selected placeable object. Okay. That will be a prefab of something. Okay. Then we're going to need a list of placeable zones. So public placeable zone, and we need to be using Unity engine, or not that. We're gonna do system collections generic. So, and we're gonna have a list of placeable zones, and we're gonna call this placeable zones, and that is just going to denote our basically probably drag in the objects or get in children get any placeable zones for each child if they have a placeable zone, or for each tag or something like that. We could do a myriad of things to actually grab this. So we'll need a list of placeable zones. We'll have a private placeable zone, not placeable controller. We'll have a placeable zone. And we'll do a selected placeable zone. Right. And in placeable zone, we're probably going to need a function that gets in this tile and then gets its world point. So if we, for instance, transform that inverse transform point, y offset. So we have these offsets right here that selects the tiles in their order. So then we basically, using the x and y like that, probably have to do the inverse of this. So we would do plane collider dot bounds dot size dot x time, or well, actually size of tile times that divided by 2. So we're adding that, so we'd probably actually just subtract that, wouldn't we, from our local position. And then we could not inverse transposition from world space to local space. We'd need to do the opposite of that. So I wonder if there's a, I'm just gonna look quick, transform point, and what does that do? Space. Got it. So what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna have a public method right up here, and we're gonna call this public void, or we'll actually return the game object, or no, we'll return a transform. Or when we instantiate something, what does it take? Probably takes in a vector 3, right? Instantiate object vector 3 position and the rotation. Okay, so in the future we'll probably have some rotation controllers, but if we're in building mode and you press R, then maybe like it's hovering and then we rotate the object and that keeps its rotation, and we're just going to do 90 degrees. We're not going to do anything crazy. So yeah, let's go back up here. Public, I'm just going to do void for now. And we'll do a get tile position, get tile world positioned like so, and basically because we're always checking for what selected tile is, we're basically going to get these offsets again like so. So size of tile dot that, and then we're going to do an integer adjusted like so, but we actually don't even need this floor to, right, not local position. We're gonna get our selected tile dot x, selected tile dot y, and we're going to actually subtract that, and then we're going to return a vector 3, and we're going to return a new vector 3 with our adjusted x. And remember, this is going to be at 0 because z in a 3D space in Unity is that. So now we're going to be able to get a tile position in world from a placeable zone. So now what we can do is on a placeable controller is we'll have a public place object. No, not placeable object. We're gonna have a public void place object, and we'll pass in. We don't actually need to pass in anything because we have selectable placeable object and the selected placeable zone. So we'll do if selected placeable zone does not equal null. And selected placeable object does not equal null. does not. What do you mean it doesn't exist? There you go. Spatial object does not equal null. Then we're going to basically instantiate the selected, not selected placeable zone, placeable object at do a transform parent, position and rotation. So just do a 0, 0, 0 rotation because we're gonna just. Oh, what's going on, Chronix? Good to see you. Currently working on placeable objects in the game. I don't know if you tuned in yesterday, but it was pretty rough. But we're still pushing on forward. We'll get a selectable placeable zone dot get tile. That's a get tile world position. That will return our vector 3. Cannot convert vector 3 to scene management scene. What do you mean? How do you make shorts? Because I want to post shorts about my game. So what I do is actually on Twitch. So YouTube and Twitch record or save your streams and such. On Twitch, you can actually clip little snippets of your stream. Here, I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by this. If we go to Twitch, .tv, and we go to our creator dashboard, then go to content and video producer, you can see all these past streams I have. So if I, for instance, go to the lounge, this was the last night's stream, we're playing some Balatro, and go to our VOD page, have this. So I can go here and you can see this little clip button like so. If I press that, then Twitch will clip it. And then from there, you can see that we have a portrait version. We can actually modify this. We can hit edit layout. And what I do is I go stacked like this to where I can put me at the top. You can also change this around, change these sizes as you'd like. And then I could do something like that to where you can actually kind of see it actually happening like this. After you do that, you just press apply. You can adjust the length and such like that. Add a title, and then you can save the clip. And then you can actually even directly export that to YouTube. You can save that, add subtitles however you want. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. And the quality is actually not too shabby. I haven't actually done this in, I think, a few days. But I do plan on posting some more shorts here soon. Going through some of the past streams. Especially if we find something interesting. But back to it. So selected placeable zone. Get tile world position. We'll do get placeable tile, I guess. No problem. It's just it's very easy. Twitch makes it very easy. Cannot convert, instantiate. What do you mean? Okay, and then we'll do new quaternion 0, 0, 0, 0. Like so. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so now we're placing an object. If we have a selected placeable object and a selected placeable zone, we're basically getting whatever. So that is okay. So I want to try this out. So we're going to go to our player controller, and actually, what I'm going to do is make this a public static placeable controller instance. And we're going to make an awake function. If instance equals null, then instance equals this, else destroy this, like so. Okay, so that is basically pretty simple stuff right there. This will make it so I can just call in player controller. So now we have on building mode. Let's do a placeable controller dot instance dot, and then we'll place our object like so. So that will be called right there, like so. And what I'm gonna even do is literally go here for testing purposes. Let's see how this works. So selected placeable zone. We're going to go in here, placeable zone, like that. Where is our, we need to make this public game object placeable, selected placeable object. Where is that? Where is our selected placeable object? I would like to, you know, drag that on there. Especially since placeable objects, I'm going to create a environmental waffle machine. We'll do a placeable object right here as well. Like so. Placeable zone, size of tile. Placeable controller. Alrighty. I'm gonna serialize field this, I guess. Can you pop up in the inspector, please? I would like to populate that game object. Where the fuck are you, dude? That's crazy. Placeable object. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why. Oh my gosh. Gotta love it when that kicks in. Alright, that will fix it, because the actual... We're going to instantiate another placeable zone on our grid. That would make so much sense. Wouldn't it? Okay, so placeable zone, you go right there. And placeable object, you're going right there. Okay, so now we have this. Let's go ahead and hop on in here, like so. And I am very curious to see how this is going to work. Let's get our console up. Press B. We've entered building. Oh, let's press B. We've entered building mode. We've got nothing. Oh, we got some problems. Okay, yeah. So we'll need to do and selected placeable zone dot selected tile does not equal null as well, because we are setting that somewhere. Because obviously that will break everything if we try to place an object when there's no tile to actually place it on. Okay, so, and click. Oh, press B, enter. We got placeable objects, clones, bam. We're placing 3, actually. And where are you guys? Whoa. Okay, so the offset's not working too good. Let's go ahead and, oh, wait, well, of course, this isn't working. We're going to, because this is an inverse, so we're going to get a vector 3, global position is equal to, let's see, so I can do a new transform. How do we create a transform? No, we don't want to create a new transform. We need to basically transform. So we'll do a transform dot transform position, like so. We're gonna do a new transform position. Is vector 2 for 2D stuff? Usually yes. You're gonna basically be working with vector 2. If you're making a 2D game, there's really no reason to work with vector 3s. Except if you're making like an isometric 2D game, then you'll probably work with some Z's, and Z's also have like working with drawing distance. So for instance, if I go into our 2D camera view like so, you can kind of see nothing, of course, but if we go here, you can kind of see how Z's can work. So this is our diner, and notice how the actual garbage containers are drawn in front of the diner walls. So this kind of general concept can be used for parallaxing. For instance, like a parallax background basically has different components moving at a different time. So basically you would just layer 2D sprite images such as like the mountains, trees, like a valley or something, as different game objects. Enter screen, decrease the Z value or increase it depending on what camera orientation you're using. So for instance, I could have these dump trucks moving as we're moving at one speed, and then the wall moving at something else to create a parallax background. This can also be applied to some other instances. So interesting to think about it like that sometimes. But vector 2's definitely more predominantly 2D, but also if you're just never, like if you're never applying, for instance, these tiles only have an X and a Y, that could also be a vector 2, but I'm just storing it as an integer. Transform position not exist in transform, but it does. Transform point, not position. Transform point does not exist in... That's right there. Shh. Transform dot transform point. Transform a position from local space to world space. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll do a new vector 3 adjusted X, 0 adjusted Y, like so, and then parentheses. And then we'll return our global position. Like so. Okay, so now if we go back into our placeable controller, this is now getting the world position, or should be getting the world position. And now if we go into building mode, we should see something pop up right there. Okay, where'd that go? Where are you? Oh, you are there. Maybe. I just didn't see you pop up. Okay. It's right there. Oh boy. That's always fun. So we're getting the complete different positions. We are drawing. So if I go over here. Oh, look at that. That's a little strange. So maybe this offset's not doing anything. So let's just select a tile. Let's comment this stuff out and see. Do the selected tile.x and selected tile.y, like so. Transforming its point. Also gonna move that other placeable tile out of the way. In placeable zone, move down like so. You get out of here, dude. Thank you. Like so. Principal zone. Still want to be able to see a little bit. Wait, she up like that? Or no? Bam. Okay. There we go. Should maybe be able to see that. Okay. Play. This might be a system to rework eventually. Go into building mode. Where did you pop up? You popped up all the way out there. That's fun. Okay. So, we do need to adjust, basically for local. So why is this offset not working? Let's debug.log r adjusted x plus adjusted x plus y. So that'll just console log it for us. And go in the placeable zone. We're gonna raise you up a tiny bit more. That. And we're also gonna set our day-night controller, our daytime to, let's do, basically, I think this is, do 5 minutes, 360, like that. And that's actually probably how much time it would take normally. And just so we keep it light out, so while we're trying to mess with this stuff, because I don't foresee us ever. Okay, so there's our placeable zone. B. Instantiate at -5, which is, of course, interestingly placed right there. It's also placing 3 objects, which is a little strange. For sure. Adjusted x is -5, -3. I go to a placeable zone and I place that below there. Position 0, 0. No, I don't want that. Placeable zones should be at 0, 0 actually. Placeable zone can be moved up like so. And then this guy, 0, 0. So this should be 0, 0 of our placeable zone, basically. So what's interesting is that -8, 0, 0, according to this, 0, 0, 0, according to that, 0, 0, 0, 0. So why is 0, 0 of this object? Wait a second. Because that's why. Fuck's sake. Oh, this is always fun to deal with. Okay, you, placeable object, you. Need to be set to 0, 0, 0. Like so. Placeable objects, you also need to set the 0, 0, 0. So that's all the way. Placeable object controller. Like so. Alright. And then go all the way down here. Mesh, interestingly enough, is of course not at 0, 0, 0. Okay, like so. And now, there we go. So, we're gonna delete this bad boy, and we're going to delete that bad boy. Placeable zone, placeable zone. He's right there. Positions all the way down there. Why are you moving? Placeable zones, 0, 0, 0. Placeable zone, you can move because you're not a prefab. Like so. I'm just gonna put that right there. Okay. Now let's see how this works out for us, where it's placing it, because that offsetting with prefabs can always cause some issues. So, swing, we can attack, going in building mode, place. Place. Place, place, place. Come on now. Placeable controller. What's going on here? Because we don't have a object anymore. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Good, good. That was definitely a problem. Let's just drag a placeable object right there, like so. Okay. You left building mode? No, I didn't have the placeables. There's actually no way to really tell right now. I'm just pressing B once, and basically once I'm in building mode, I can't attack. But, okay, there we go. Placing an object now. So let's see. Adjusted is 4, -5. So if we place right there, that is where? Position. Oh, yeah, we'll see you later, man. Let's see. Delete those. Game. -1, -1. That gets us the top left corner. So about here. 5, 5 gives us the middle. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Definitely getting somewhere now. So adjust X, -5, -5. And that gets us the middle. So, now that we have that, debug dot log the select selected tile X. Oh, you know why? Because we're still putting it as a selected tile, obviously. Let's do adjusted X and then adjusted Y. Like so. And now that might actually work. Let's see. Okay. Swing, attack, press B to enter building mode. And let's press one right there. One right there. Okay, okay. So basically that is placing it because the actual center of the object is there. But we are placing some objects. would we look at that? Now we have a whole big ass wall. Like so. Okay, so this is where we can start visualizing out how the grid actually looks. Okay, so first of all, we need to go in player controller, because this is kind of crazy. We don't want to place one more. So, if in building mode, if not is placing, make another field, not is placing. Then we're going to do is placing equals true. So that won't go again. And then if context dot canceled is placing equals false. So just some very simple stopping that. All right, get placeable tile position. Turn that. Selected placeable object. Selected tile equals null. And selected placeable zone dot selected tile dot not is not is obstructed instantiate, and then we're also going to basically set is equal to true, so we can't place another thing on there like so. Okay, cool. Now we'll be able to kind of visualize this out in a grid, kind of. So let's see how the grid actually is made. So B, bam. So there is the center point of 1. This should be the next center point. This should be the next center point. Center point, center point, center point, center point, center point, center point, and that's the center point. So we move up 1, center point. Okay. Okay, kind of getting the hang of this. So now what we could do is go in our placeable objects like so. And where are we? So here's 0, 0 for that, but our mesh 0, 0. Here's our placeable object. So that's the middle right there. So wait, now I want to see. B. Okay. Interesting. Welcome back. Getting some placeable stuff in our zone. But also It's a little finicky for sure. For instance, right there that places, but right there that doesn't place. This is kind of what the grid looks like. It's a little... So if I place this right there, that's the center. Do they have collision? Yes, these are all placeable objects. I gave them colliders. Basically, what we're doing is being able to place barricades. So this actually, these objects will create, in the nav mesh, they will actually create like an obstruction. So now you can kind of see what's happening here. To where the zombies actually won't go around here because this wall nav mesh thing. So we have barricades set up like so. Zombies can't get around, so they will either go in here, which I doubt it, or they will go over here. Of course, we're not just going to be able to spam it. We're going to have to buy things and probably move them, like pick things up, put them down. But right now, we're just trying to get this kind of set up and working. All right, day's going down. See, we're out of build mode. Can attack again. Should have zombies roam until they see you. It's kind of not real. This is not a bad idea, but it's kind of not really the game I'm kind of going for. The game I'm kind of going for is kind of like a somewhat of a tower defenser, to where the zombies are trying to. This is a different object. I could denote it by using a different material and coloring it. This is actually like a goal, as you can see, goal right here, waffle machine. And that will be a movable object, but that will only be accessible in a different zone. So these zones are going to have a list of placeable objects that are like prefabs that are allowed to be placed in them. So for instance, like this could be maybe like a barricade block, and the barricade blocks can be placed in any zones, but the waffle machine can only be placed in like maybe the behind the counter zone and whatnot. Because for instance, the zombies are coming here, trying to destroy the waffle machine, their goal. And if they destroy all waffle machines, it's game over or whatnot. But of course you're trying to stop them from doing that, and if they before they get to the waffle machine, if they see you, they will start aggroing onto you, start walking towards you. So yeah, some basics right now. All right, so back at it. So we can now have this simple placeable zone, and we can even place objects in there. Cool. And these placeable objects are going to be able to be attacked by zombies. So, for instance, we can even set it up eventually that the nav mesh, any placeable object placed in here is, what's it called? Collidable, or like has a different weight value. So basically how Unity's nav mesh system works is it uses A-star pathfinding, which also takes into account weights. So you can kind of see how like these big grids are lined up, and then you can start seeing these little lines here denoting other sections. So these are edges. The enemies will walk towards these edges and then walk through probably along these lines. But yeah, so we could even, so right now if we placed objects blocking these doors, that would mean it's obstructed. They can't even go through it. So they would have to go around this way. But what we actually want to do is to note them that maybe it's still okay to go this way. It's just going to have, it's going to take a little longer, and you just have to break something. So we would add a weight to that obstacle, denoting that they should try to go through it, basically. And we'll just have a collider. So when their attack collider enters that collider, it will, basically they'll stop, they'll start attacking it like they do the waffle machine or me, and we'll just have it to where basically deletes or removes the collider for the object. So yeah. So now we have a very basic zone. So I also want to see how this works. Unity, extruding meshes in editor. So how do we do this? How do I extrude mesh with the mesh extrusion.cs? Use the Pro Builder package, which allows you to directly manipulate faces, edges, and vertices of a mesh, enabling you to pull out a selected face to create an extrusion by selecting the face and then dragging it to the desired direction while holding down the Shift key. Editing meshes, package manager UI. About Pro Builder. So we need to add our Pro Builder in here. So go Unity package manager. We'll add. Okay, let's expand this a little bit so I can actually Unity registry, refreshing list. All right, so here's some of the packages I have. So let's do Pro Builder. There we go. And we're gonna click install. Wait for that to install, because what I discovered yesterday is I cannot simply scale the zone to basically make it fit the needs that I need. I have to basically what's it called? I'm blanking. I have to extrude these things because if we just scale it, then the local grid positioning is going to get skewed and not work as intended. Okay, there we go. Pro Builder installed. So now let's go here. And now how do I extrude? Got create cube, create polyshape, tools, rect tool, transform tool, scale tool. Okay, so let's see. Do you modify elements of any Pro Builder mesh to change its shape? So you move or extrude faces, edges, or vertices. You are distorting and deforming the mesh itself. Other basic transformations, Pro Builder also provides tools. Okay, so you can Pro Builderize it for polyshapes. So we're gonna look up Unity Pro Builder extruding plane meshes. Let's extrude. Tools, Pro Builder, new shape. So we want to figure out, yes, I already had it added to my project, but no, I had not got around. Tools, Pro Builder, new shape. After shape is added, select the face. Extrude. If the shape is not in the form of Pro Builder, you need to builderize it. Recording tutorial. Okay, so let's go here. Click this. We'll go Tools, Pro Builder, Editors. Whoa. Create shape. Create plane right there. Edit poly shape selection. Object, Pro Builderize. Okay, let's pull this guy over here. Import quads, import smoothing, confirm. Now we'll go Tools, Pro Builder, Edit, Object, Freeze Transform, Set Collider, Set Trigger, Pro Builder, Mesh Filter, Object Size. That's 0, right? Okay. Yeah. So that's the smallest value I've got. Now let's extrude. Do 20. Objects. To enable generation of light maps, property is driven by a Pro Builder component. Use the Pro Builder edit mode in the scene tools overlay to edit this mess. So tools, editors, create shape. No, we don't want create shape. Scene tools overlay. Use the Pro Builder edit mode in the scene tools. Dimensions overlay show. Okay. Hide that window. Where is ProBuilder? How do I do this? Interesting. This is the first time I'm working with this ProBuilder, so don't mind me. ProBuilder, I'm not going to create anything. Component, near services, jobs, tools, ProBuilder, editors, UV editor, material editor, smoothing, UV, vertex, no. Edit, dimensions, selection, interaction, object, center pivot, confirm, mirror object, set collider, geometry, materials, repair, export. Okay. Nope. 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 General scene. Okay, we're going back here. Select the faces you want to extrude in ProBuilder. Okay, so if I actually go ahead and double click this. Nope. Do I have to Scene Tools overlay? Read only. That's fun. Well. Unity opening ProBuilder. Select tools, ProBuilder, ProBuilder window. Tools, ProBuilder. The fuck is the ProBuilder window? I don't see no ProBuilder window. Okay. Tools, ProBuilder. Editors, maybe. Jesus. It's a toolbar now. Okay. Well, it is there. You just have to see right-click menu. What in the hell's going on here? Interesting. Interesting indeed. Principal zone. Tools, ProBuilder, object. Don't want to freeze, transform, selection. Geometry. We want to extrude. Why can't we extrude? Alright, so basically what I'm seeing here is that this placeable zone is attached. Let's see how this works. It actually works with the collider, mesh collider. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a ProBuilder, create a new plane, and we're going to call, we're going to call this placeable zone. And we're going to call this a dining area. Okay, like so. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So now that we have this, scene overlay, create cube, No, we don't need to do that. Tools, Pro Builder, Geometry, Object. Oh my god. Control E, maybe? What the fuck? What is going on here? Pro Builder Edit Mode. Cut tool. Okay, there we go. We're getting somewhere. All right. All right. Extrude all the way out here. Like so. If I go down, slant it. Does slant it. Okay, so that was the edit mode. All right, interesting. Turn that off. Put you down actually like so. Move you like that. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Basically, you are just going to get... So we have placeable zone, and we just need a mesh collider, and then we're good. Delete that. Dining area. Basically, extrude. Like... So. Nope. Didn't get that edge right there. Like that. Okay. Okay. Now let's extrude that face this way. Okay, we're creating some zones now. I'm liking this. Not too shabby. We need to leave enough area for a counter. And now, basically, we can grab that and move this bad boy like so. Okay. I just want this to extrude out like so. Not... Okay, whatever. I think that should be okay. For now. That. This guy, like so. This is definitely not how you're supposed to be doing this, but whatever. Okay, like so. Then grab this vertice, just this guy, and bam. Looks good enough for me. Now let's go place this underneath our placeable zones, which that position is correct. Placeable zones at 0, 0. Mesh collider convex edge trigger. Like so, maybe. That's not good. Not too good at all. Don't want that, so let's remove that. Move component. We'll do a collider, and we'll do a polygon collider. Tile map, terrain, surface, composite. A box collider. No. Don't want a box collider. Move. Let's try a polygon. Oh boy. No, not 2D. Mesh collider. For mesh, uses mid-phase material. Mesh is this little thing. Let's see. Unity. Oh, wait. Actually, wait. I remember how to do this. So we're not actually going to do this. We're going to go in edit mode. Cut tool. Create poly shape. No, there was Pro Builder. Object. Set collider. Collider behavior. This do? Entity behavior initialize. Bear collision get component collider. If not collision, add component mesh collider. Is trigger equals false. Material. Pro Builder object. Is that trigger? Maybe. Is a not a, why is this a gigantic cube? Unity, Pro Builder, plane mesh, collider, still cube. Game for my trees and have one. Likely because convex option in this is not enabled, meaning the collider is interpreting the plane's mesh as a bounding box. For this, simply enable the convex checkbox to your plane's mesh. Expression concave. Yeah, but it is on convex. Is there like a point right here? No, there's no points. Cooking objects. Cut for faster simulation. Enable mesh cleaning. Maybe if we use just the material as Pro Builder default. Physics material, definitely not. assets. Okay. Also, let's set this to a nice round even number. Can we? No, of course not. Okay. Motion vectors, dynamic. Because, like, for right, if I enable this, okay. Convex. Let's see.
Thanks for watching this Unity tutorial.
Let's see. Okay. 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 Adding a rigid body? Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to manually create a box collider for this because I am not going to have to deal with this. Component box collider. Like so. Insert it. Edit collider. I can do something like so. Can I not raise it up? Or lower it? Yeah, I can lower it like that. Like so. How do I do it? Colliders. What's some options here? Wheel colliders. Collision behavior. There's that. And then if we add maybe another box collider. And that's is trigger. Can we? That bad boy, and then put him like so. Just build like a collider out of it like so, maybe? Okay, maybe that's gonna work. Alright. I mean, that would work if it treats this as one collider. Okay. Let's see how this works. I'll do placeable zone. We got trigger colliders. So basically it will get component plane collider. Then it will generate a grid based on those bounds. And let's see how this works. We need to tag this at all. Aggro zone, no. Default, movable. I guess this will be a detection layer, but I don't know. Okay, let's just see if this works. Oh wait, this isn't gonna work because I forgot to give it. Oh, ay ay ay. That. Like so. Next was out of bounds. Okay. Let's see where it was out of bounds. Of the array, it says. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So we're doing a static size thing. Cause yeah, this bounds isn't gonna work, is it now? Alright, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is just fucking, I'll make sure at least one of these things work. Disable that. Let's try playing that. Okay, so that's not gonna work because index was outside of bounds of the array. What index? Okay. 0, 10. So basically when it got to x equals 1, what's the fucking plane bounds? Thank God Unity has these actual useful, like, pre-built, if it's logging it to a console, like this will return like its actual vector 3 with its values. Okay, let's see. What's the plane bounds here? Because I just saw 10, by the way. Plane bounds is 41, 10. Okay. It's outside of bounds of the array. What do you mean? It increases. Less than plane bounds x 4 and x equals 0 x less than plane bounds x. We're going to float this to an int as well, because that seems to be causing some problems. Basically, what I think was happening is, since we have these decimal points, it actually like not getting the correct behavior. So now we'll actually probably see a grid generate, because once it got to 10, basically it was still less than 10.26, and that didn't have the right size. All right, so there we go. Enter building mode. Okay, so that's not happening. Interesting. So right there was right there. There's right there. It's leading pretty far. So this doesn't even have anything over here. Very interesting. And we made a penis on accident. Nice. Okay. Very intriguing. Okay, so let's see. Position scale. So X is 41. That goes a long way. Z is 28. Collider, we got basically flush with this thing. If we go up to plane bounds. 41, 10, and then 0? Because Z shouldn't be 0, shouldn't it? Oh, that's what it is right there. Plane size is 10. Yeah, that would make sense. So, 0, go up to X, Y, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're instantiating all these tiles. Adjusted position. So what we're going to actually do is test this out by, when we generate the grid, going to go ahead and we're gonna fucking instantiate something there. Wait 5 seconds. While, or wait a second. While time dot delta time is less than, we'll do 5 here. We'll do 1 second. We'll do all. Time passed. Where time pass equals 0f, and time pass plus equals delta time. I'll freeze this for a second. For each of these, and let's just see how this grid gets created. Because I gotta figure out how this stuff is working before I can start, like, really messing around with it. Because we want a grid system that is not going to be game objects and using colliders, because look at how big this area is. And imagine if each one of these tiles was a game object. That would just not be too good. All right, so let's go like this. Whoa, okay. So there's something interesting. Thing seems to be moving over again. Always something funky like that, of course. Actually, we're also going to debug.log this so I can kind of see it in real time. X plus comma plus Y. Some real professional debugging going on here. Is the best joke I could tell. But yeah. Let's see here. Okay. So that's not pausing. That's fun. Okay, it's starting on start. I do not know why this is going through. It's placing all the objects. I want to see them get placed in real time. We're also going to put our little game like this so we can kind of see it happen in real time. This could be another matter of some weirdness going on. So everything seems to be shifted to the left a little bit. Like so. Which is kind of nuts. Why is that the case? Things shifted up and to the left. Go back into our placeable objects, make sure it's still at 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so then in our grid, we're flooring it to... flooring that. Plane bounds. This is just not doing anything for some reason. Can I do like... This is some real... That might work. That might pause us some time for a little bit, just so we can watch as the grid is getting created every half of a second. Yeah, let's see how this works. Also, what it could be is that the actual pivot center point is not correct. Okay, so it starts right there and it's going up. So sectionally, it should be going up right there. Okay. Interesting. And that is above the actual grid itself. Kind of cool watching this grid get made, I will say, but... Okay, so what I'm thinking is maybe... Let's see, select this. The pivot point is right there. What about the collider's pivot point itself? Dining area. Show. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense why it's doing something somewhat funky since the pivot point is actually like right here. Oh, this is always fun. All right, so this is where we will probably have. Yeah, this is definitely going to be an all-week type of system to implement, but I think we're getting there. And this will probably need to be reworked eventually. We could even look into some other ways of implementation, but right now, what we're going to actually do is delete. Go in our mesh. We're going to remove this box collider right here. And we are going to delete these. Uh-oh. Edit, mesh, select these guys, these bad boys. You guys go back in. Like so. Now let's see what happens. See if that does anything. Nope, still nothing. Wonder why. Maybe because it's right here is kind of like the pivot point. So we go in here, edit that, and then tools, pro builder, selection, object, center pivot. Okay. Yeah, that was the problem right there. Kind of see where the collider just kind of wonked out. So let's go ahead and remove this component. Let's add a mesh collider back because that's okay to have. Convex there because now it's just a square like so. And now if I press play, this will generate our grid correctly. So yeah. Right? Where the fuck is it going? Oh, yeah, here we go. Now it's generating somewhat correctly. Still, you can kind of tell that the actual edges of where the objects are being placed are off. Oh, the grid hasn't even been fucking created yet. Of course, it's not working. But yeah, you can kind of tell it's a little bit off, like... Not a little bit too, like pretty off. Oh, for God's sake. So I think this has to do with, okay, there's even space in between it though. Jesus. Why is it so off? Oh, because we're flooring the ant here, so... That doesn't make sense, though. Because 4110, 0, 0. Alright. We're going to disable this coroutine. This is going to be a void again. And we're going to basically... copy this, and after we generate a grid, we're going to place this at 0, 0, and we're going to place object like so. Now we'll generate our grid and place it at 0, 0, and 0, 0 should be in this corner, and it should be attached to the grid for some reason. Okay, so if I press play, oh, it's still instantiating the freaking objects. That's fun. Where are you instantiating these objects? Oh, of course. I forgot to save it. Interestingly enough, gotta actually get rid of them. Okay, so that's so interesting. So that is here. Let me just go ahead and place a placeable object underneath him. So that's 0, 0. That's 0, 0. Right there on the local transform. So maybe something's wrong with the offset. So like, let's go -21. That should be the edge. -21, 0. That's pretty far off. And what was the actual bounds was not, it would be 20. 20, like so. Is that 1? So let's do negative, or let's do 21. And that's off as well. So maybe we should just remove -1 that, and let's see what 5 looks like. Not 5 right there. Let's see what 5 looks like up. That's actually okay. -5. That's okay as well. So yeah, I'm thinking that we have forward x -1 here. This could be something completely different too for different sizes of things. This is why we want to keep it like somewhat static sizes, but we'll figure that out. Okay. Let's go ahead and reload our domain like so. Wonder why this is. I also wonder it's because this isn't flush with the ground. Because that's obviously not right. That's 0, 0. So let's do -20. And we'll do z is -5. So when we press 0, 0, this is where it should be. Okay? So if we... Now if we disable that, go into our game. And that's what happens. So we get this, and that's instantiated right there. So, press B. Come down here. -20, -6. Why do we have a -6? Shouldn't be a -6. Should never be a -6. It's within 10. So 0. Something weird must be happening to our offset. Minus the offset. Let's just try doing +1. Because fuck. Why not? Why not? Because that might, you know, help out a little bit. Also, maybe doing that when we generate the grid as well. That could be something. I doubt it, though. Okay. So, with that, actually, look, that kind of looks right? So, if we go to building mode. Adjusted is -4, 4. Go right here. And that's, of course, because that's where it's interacting with the collider. So, like, you can imagine this is the point. So, if we actually move this zone down, like so, make it kind of flush with the floor. We go back in game. Bam. Okay. A little bit hard to do right there, but we're not going to be placing this many objects, trust me. Just trying to make sure the grid works. Whoa. Interesting enough, that placed over there. Okay. Let's go. Love to see this. And I can't replace another one on the same thing. And yeah. Okay, we're placing some objects. Very nice. Now let's make this zone flush with the floor. like so. And also, I think that's okay. Yeah, cool. Let's go. We've got a buildable zone with the correct freaking grid placement. So, but the limitation, unfortunately, is that we can't make an L-shaped zone, so we'd have to have two placeable zones, like a dining area 1 and a dining area 2. Unfortunately. So this could be like the, I don't know. And that's where, like, couldn't we even... I don't know how this will go. But yeah, that's okay for now. So now we have a adjusted zone that can cover the whole thing because we added our Pro Builder. We can place the objects that look okay. The only reason they are like halfway down is because that cube mesh, its middle center like pivot was literally the middle of the cube. The objects are gonna basically not have that. They're gonna have the center pivot point to be the bottom and then go up like that. And we can always adjust that if need be. Yeah, let's see. That was nice and not very fun, but it is what it is. Don't need to have these debugged, logged anymore. Adjusted X. So what happens if selected tile equals tiles at that position, and then re-putting it, we're just adding one because subtracting. Which is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So I'm wondering... So is this offset? It's working right now. I don't really want to know. Because I could add one to right here, and that's just having the selected tile be just one extra up. But so we're just giving the transform. Okay, well this grid system's working. I wish I could like draw something on there. You know? But it seems to be working. So I guess the next step is basically just trying to make another dining area. So let's just actually copy and paste that. I'll do dining area 2. Move you on over here. Clone. Yeah. But what we're gonna actually do is highlight this guy. And we need to edit this mesh. Actually, we need to... I'm just going to delete this. And basically, tools, Pro Builder, object, or editor, edit. What are we doing? Creating. Now we're going to go in here. Pro Builder, create a new plane. Like so. 0, 0. Thank you. Being right up there. It's going to be 0.12. So, let's get it flush with the plane. That. And making sure this looks okay. You know what I could just do, of course, is go like so. And it's X. Location. Nope, that's not it. Going to simply go like this. Go down. And that works for me. Mesh collider. Convex as trigger. I'm gonna go 0.12, like so. And then simply edit this mesh. Grab a face. And let's try Shift E. No. Edge selection. Drag this bad boy on out, like so. And like so. And drag this bad boy on out to the door. Dining area. Another dining area. A mesh collider is a trigger. Let's place this in placeable zones. So, okay. Now we're gonna add a placeable zone component. So the tile is just one. We can place a controller. So the placeable zone is going to be another dining zone right now. So basically, oh, how we doing? Basically, we're going to only be able to place right now in this zone. Yep. So if we go down here, turn on building mode, can place right here, but can we place in here? No. Why is that? Of course, since these both have dining zones on here. Placeable zone. Okay. Where are we? Collider behavior. Where are we debugging that? Oh, right here. Okay, then we're going to do basically we just actually need to look at so. Okay. We don't need to see this whole thing. Righty. Okay, we got 7 and 16, and then 4 and 10, like so. Over here, turn on building mode. Can't build it here, of course, because we got nothing else. This is not working. Oh, just worked. Okay, interesting. Okay. Interestingly enough, it's only working for some of the positions. Nothing over here for some reason. But over here, it is working. Okay. Keep fucking debugging this, of course. Going to debug.log. Selected dial local chords, and that's going to be +X plus selected tile x plus comma selected tile dot y. This needs to be plus right here. Then debug dot log global pause selected tile global pause, and that's just going to be our plus adjusted x comma, or no, that's going to be our global position, like so. Actually, also as well. Just do that. Also, what I'm thinking is it could be that because the object size is 8.7, we are only getting 7. Should be 8. X minus 1. Oh. Yeah, this was a debug earlier that I was trying to do. So that would probably actually be the case of why we're getting some weird funky things. So basically, what we can do is just see how this works. So that will create 8 and 41. Enable building mode. Not attacking. Click. Chord 6.5, 7.5, and there's nothing right here, which is interesting. 7.4. So yeah, that's where our little 8.7 is not coming in handy. So if we go right here and try to place something right there. 310, 210, 2, 3, 1. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Because we never get to 1, so this is actually only in between 1 and 7. I don't know. I don't know what's up with all this nice stuff. Ugh. What we can do is, that's actually an okay placeable area for now, is let's interface controller. Basically, and our cursor object is, we're going to tag these as placeable zone, like so, and they'll be on the layer, detection layer for now. And in our cursor object, if we go to scripts, cursor, fix update, wherever we get it, raycast, hit layer mask, okay, do on trigger enter other if other dot get tag other dot game object dot get tag, not get type, what the fuck, other dot tag is equal to placeable zone. So, very simply, what we're going to do is placeable zone, placeable controller.instance dot placeable, select a placeable zone is going to equal to other not collider dot game object. Game object dot get component placeable zone, like so. So now we'll be able to change our placeable zones. Okay, so now if I enter building mode, I should be able to place like right here, place right here, can't place up here, can't place right here, place right there, place right there, from over here, place right there, place, ooh, look at that, over there, place right there, place right there, place like so. Definitely sometimes a little wonky. Let's see what happens if I try to do this. Actually, that's not that bad. It's actually kind of not too shabby. So now, if we wanted to, we could make a maze for these zombies. But this is working. We got a little placeable zone areas using different zones. Just square zones. I wish I could do it somehow different. Oh, look at that. I can raise myself up. Then I fall because I have gravity. That's funny. Nice. Little walking platform. That's definitely not intended. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for the lab. Been streaming for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Been working on the game for about 2 hours and 20 minutes then. This is what I'm going to call it. This is going to be an all-week kind of dealio, to where we're just going to get the literal most basic implementation of placeable objects implemented up to what we can call a milestone, and then in the next milestone, of course, optimize the hell out of the system so we'll have some multiple streams. Probably in another week, or in a couple of weeks, maybe like a month's time, we'll probably even have another whole week of optimizing the system and maybe even redoing it. But, you know, progress. I saw a quote yesterday from a video of another indie game dev who was doing his devlog. His quote was, 80% of progress is made with 20% of the time, but the last 20% of progress is made with 80% of the time. So it kind of made sense getting the basic systems implemented, just like having something to show. 80% of progress, getting that up there, and then fine-tuning it to make it really work, make it really actually behave the way you want to, is that last 20% of progress, but takes the most amount of time. But yeah, I'm gonna call the stream there. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to check out the lounge later. Probably will be doing that a little bit later today. If you're in the Discord, I will go ahead and start posting announcements for the lounge streams. The lab streams you can expect from 11:30 Eastern time to 2:30 Eastern time. We'll round that ballpark. Like today, I'm ending it a little bit earlier. Sometimes if we're on a roll, probably end it a little later. But this system is definitely an interesting one and something that's going to take a good bit to figure out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and always remember, the good is out there. It is just one step away. I will talk to you guys later.